Hello, my friends. So today we're going to do a little show and tell. I'm going to show you my peri-oral dermatitis. And this issue is what made me drop out of pre-med and move into more holistic practices. And it is something that is stress induced. My first experience with it, when they finally figured out that it wasn't just acne, was in college. They finally figured that out, and then they gave me an oral antibiotic and a topical steroid, and it would go away for a little bit, but my face would still be very red, puffy. Think I'm putting steroids on my face, you know what I mean? But the acne parts would, and the dryness would go away, but then it would come back even worse, like so bad, to the point where I was working in the food industry. I was working at McCormick and Schmick's downtown, an expediter, so I'm the person who's in between the chefs and the servers and stuff. So I'm dealing with food all day. I couldn't be around that because my face was falling off. Like makeup couldn't hold it on. Finally, I went to my mom, told me, she's like, hey, the lady who does my eyebrows, she also does organic facials. Maybe she can help. So she gave me a 2-hour facial, and it was actually Ayurveda, which is like Indian medicine in skincare, right? And my skin was 80% better. I like cried happy tears. I gave her all the cash that I had because I'm like, okay, finally I can like work again, right? So that I cannot believe has been 20 years ago. 20 years ago. I have been an esthetician and spa owner for over 11 years now, and I've learned a lot of things that can help with this, as well as like reasons. So one thing that I've noticed, and they would say peri-oral dermatitis, it does start like around the nose. See, it's like dry. And then like that was a zit. That's a zit I just popped here. It'll start getting really dry around the corners of the mouth, the chin, all of this will get red. So especially when I was using, the Western medicine practices, when this would come back, it would come back mostly in this area. I even had a couple tiny little zits like right across this line. But something that I've learned more recently over the last 4 or 5 years working with people who do dry needling and people who do acupuncture professionally, we're always comparing charts and stuff like that. I would always notice when I was younger that it would get up into what we would call like the T zone, but it actually follows the liver kidney meridian. So it'll go around here. See, the middle is kind of clearish, right? It has some spots here, and it will be just like these tiny little red spots too, and then very dry, very, very dry. So since this is stress induced, the first time I experienced it, I was in pre-med courses, and I had to keep 3.8, so those were not easy courses to keep my scholarships. So I was pretty stressed, to say the least. So definitely doing what we can to keep our nervous system relaxed. Now, I just kind of came out of a spell, I guess, from January till recently, where I had to redo all my software system. I mean, plus running a business. So it was like running the business full time, plus this whole other job that I don't get paid for. Very stressful, very similar to, the level of stress I was having when this first popped up in college. So, you know, getting good sleep and finding times to relax is absolutely so important. And it is, I do believe, like a cortisol response. I have PCOS, so we have other hormone stuff going on that kicked in. But honestly, I've really been able to keep all like the kind of acne and any of that kind of stuff away up until this, acute period of intense stress that we're just coming out of, luckily. So this is one thing that I take that helps so much. It is a little combo pack. It is NRF2, which helps with inflammation. I would take that already for the PCOS, so I will take some extra of that if I've got extra inflamed stuff. It also helps our body get rid of trash. So obviously this is like trash in my face that needs to get out from stress, right? And then I love, love, love these ashwagandha gali gummies. They're so delicious. And you can get them at CVS, you can get them at Walgreens. I find the best deal is like on TikTok. You can get like a 3-pack of these. Or like on my Amazon shop, you can get that like 2 for the price of 3 on TikTok. But either way, I know a lot of people don't have TikTok. So yeah, anything with ashwagandha in it is great. Then I mix up these special little masks. The main ingredients are bentonite clay and apple cider vinegar and water. You can find all of those ingredients at the grocery store usually, like Whole Foods or something. Or it's easiest to just go to my Amazon shop and get it on there. So now this is like an Ayurvedic mask. Those are just the basics of it. I've got some other things in here. Brahmi and gotu kola and some lemon balm. Lemon balm's amazing. I actually grow that in my yard. So I just saw it popping up. It's so nice when you can put it fresh into it. But this one, it just has powders that I have at the spa. There's some bee pollen in here. I don't even know, I mixed it up yesterday. But the clay masks help to suck out those toxins. So I will mask up with this if I'm having like a flare up like this, which usually doesn't happen too often. It means I need a vacation is what it really means. But I will put these on even like a couple times a day. So I am going to be using, I think the fastest thing to get rid of it is if you're also combining this with the non-invasive face sculpting on specific frequencies that help with inflammation, like blue, and that also help with like overstimulation and stuff. So me being on the neurodivergent spectrum, also like being overstimulated and not like giving myself the time to like recharge in peace, like not around people, that can overactivate this as well. Spending some time in nature, which, man, I'm just ready for it to be like full-time spring, because I've been doing that even when it's been cold. I've just been like grounding in my bare feet in the grass in the cold. My toe is broken right now too, so I'm sure that doesn't help with the whole cortisol response thing. It's just crisis. Just covering it up. Watching things that don't stress you out, that's also important. Like if you're gonna chill and watch TV, don't be watching like some kind of murder stuff or whatever, because that's still gonna trigger your cortisol response. Just need to be very chill, very low key. Cannabis also helps for sure. One of my favorite CBD shops here locally around Carmel is Owl Sea, but I just looked that up for a client yesterday, and it looks like they moved to Binford, over where another spa that I had was. So that's a lovely area. They have really good stuff for dogs, and they've got stuff for humans, so I'm gonna have to go check them out soon in their new location. So yeah, I just wanted, that's probably like the worst, that's probably definitely the worst peri-oral dermatitis that I've had in a long time. Usually I'll show you, like, it'll start here, like around the corners of the mouth and the nose, and I'm able to get it go away a lot faster. But you know, something that's gonna, once you've triggered it once, it's like a stress autoimmune kind of response thing. You know, there's a good chance it can happen again in the future. So that's why it's so important to try to live a balanced lifestyle and, you know, have the right toolkit and the right knowledge when it does happen again, to be able to heal that and not have to go through the medical trauma that I did. And I know a lot of my other clients who've had peri-oral dermatitis have went through as well. So if you need help with this, you can always book an appointment online at elabardo.com. And I hope this was educational and fun to look at my